Hello, this is Matt with PoorManTech.com. Today I'm going to be going through the process of taking an Excel spreadsheet that has three columns and combining those three columns into one column in Notepad, and also going back from Notepad into three columns. You'll see what I mean when I get there. And I'm going to share any tips and tricks along the way that I have learned while I've done these sort of things. And the example I plan to use today is a phone number. I've seen databases handle phone numbers in a couple of different ways, either having them in three columns, as this is, or in one column. So I'm going to show you how to get it from one to the other. To start with that, I'm going to give you a little tip that I've learned, a formula called rand between. And what it allows you to do is make a random number between, in this case, 111 and 999. So that's going to give me my area code. 570 may or may not be a good area code, but since these are both three-digit numbers, 570, you can see when you click on that cell to the right-hand corner, there is a black dot. When you move your mouse over that, your cursor goes from a white cross to a black cross, which you can click and drag to the right, which is just going to fill that formula right, and also recalculates the initial one. So, but you see here, rand between 111, 999, the same thing here. Now, for this column, we need a four-digit number, so I'm just going to retype that and do 1111 and 9999. And then you get your random number. So to populate, so we actually have some data, we can see what we're doing more clearly. I'm going to select all three of those cells, and you see you still have the black dot in the bottom right hand corner. So I'm going to click on that, drag it down, and fill some data. That way we have a significant amount of data to deal with. So what I'm going to do here is I'm holding down the shift key and arrowing to the right, and I'm going to shift control down, which takes me to the bottom of the text. Regardless of how long it is, it'll go to the bottom of that pattern. So I'm going to right click and hit copy. What I typically do is actually just control C for copy. And then I'm going to go to my Notepad, which I've been playing around with obviously already. And you can right click paste, or you can also do control V to paste. Now, control C copy, control V paste is going to save you a lot of time, and even the alt tab to go between windows like I just did. Some of these things I do instinctively. Whenever possible, I like to learn the function keys rather than doing it manually, because it just saves so much time and it makes you look super cool as someone's looking over your shoulder. Like, how's he doing it so quick? I can't even keep up with him. You kind of need that as an IT guy. You need every advantage that you can get. So what happens when you bring something into text Notepad from Excel is it breaks the columns out. Right now it does it with a tab. So if I hit File, Save right now, what I'm going to save is a tab delimited text file. And you can import that into most databases. You open a tab delimited text file in Excel, it's going to come up in the proper columns. But we take advantage of the fact that Excel automatically inserts that tab, and Notepad recognizes what that tab is, to be able to select it. You can actually select it and copy it, or again, I would say Control C. I'm going to repeat myself a lot, but repetition seems to be how most of us learn. So once I've got that copied, what I want to do is search and replace, and you can do Control F, or you can hit Edit and find Next. Replace, Control H. Again, I love the Notepad because it actually lays things out for you, and you can see what the function keys are for what you're actually having to do. So when I'm going to replace here, I'm going to paste the tab that I selected up here. It looks like I selected nothing, but really I selected a tab. And then since this is a phone number, I'm going to replace that with a dash. So everywhere that there was a new column or a tab, it's going to have a dash. So now you have 906-244-9042. Let's copy this whole thing. You can actually hit Control A to select all, and Control C to copy, Alt Tab to go back to my spreadsheet. You know what I'm going to do real quick? Nah, it doesn't matter. What's going to happen as soon as I click into a cell here and hit paste, it's going to recalculate these figures, because that's ran between is doing a random number every time something changes. You'll see it's not going to match. But it was 90624494042. You can see it was here, but every time that I go in here and change something, those numbers recalculate. So what I really maybe should have done would have been to copy these. I'll do it so you can see how fast the function keys work. I'm going to Control C. I'm going to right click because I don't know the function key for paste values, but I'm going to paste just the value. That way those don't change. Now, when I pasted values, you can see that the formula is gone, the value remains. So now that I've got that copied, I'm going to go back here, Control V, Control H. I've already got that pasted in there. I'm going to replace all, Control A, oops, not there, Control A, Control C, and Control V. And I've done, now they actually match. A little learning experience for us there. So now we've gotten this into one column as you would like it to be. Now the funny thing is if you start off in your database with one column and you need it in 3 columns, I've had this before, and sometimes you have like a last name and first name, and your database, your old school, blue screen Unix box, just put it all in one field. You need it in 2 fields. That's another thing where you can use the combining of columns. But let's say that I had this, and I needed to break it into 3 columns, and I've got it in Notepad, just like this. I can do the exact opposite. I can do Control H. I'm going to copy this because I need that copied. Paste there. And I'm going to say I need all the dashes replaced with a tab. I replace all. Close this out. Control A, Control C. Go back to my handy-dandy Excel spreadsheet, and it has broken them back. So if I had, let's just say last name, oh, okay, I'm just making up some names. I'm really not that creative. I've got these here. You know what? Let's do that totally different. Because what's most likely to happen is that you've just got a name field. So you've got 3 here. I'm just going to do those 3 because that's just what I came up with quickly. Control C, copy those into Notepad, and I've really got a mess here. I've got this one thing, and I need it in 2 columns. So I'm going to say, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and add. I'm going to change that column. I'm going to say first space last. And so I'm going to do the same thing here. Control H, and I'm going to say wherever there's a space, because there's only 2 words: John and Doe, Jane and Doe, Josh and Dow. Place the space with, oops, what I needed to have done, let's have a tab. So I'll have to go here and select these 2, go down here, paste. That's the weirdest thing ever. You'll never understand. I mean, I don't understand that. So say 1 and 2, just to make a random column there, because I don't know how else to paste the tab, but you need to be able to grab that tab and copy it. So now that I've got that copied, go back to my Control H. I'm going to say I want to replace every space with the tab. Hopefully that was not too hard to follow. You may have to make a new Notepad to be able to copy that tab if you don't already have it in there somehow. So I replace all. What I have done is separate out. Just go here. Blank one there. Separate it out. First name, last name. So hopefully you found this video to be helpful. If you do, I appreciate you. Give me a like or give me a follow. Thanks for watching, and have good dataing.